And we're live. We're live at this point. All right. What is this? We've got over 100 subscribers, and with us tonight is Goddess Starla Vamp and Misty Portugal. Welcome, you fantastic, beautiful people. We've got 100 subscribers. Oh, we already got the hot seat set up there. Okay, good. Welcome everybody. I've got to pour a drink. I've got some. I got some Madison Park. Oh, what am I doing? Drinking. Okay. You know what? I like the Madison Park, but somebody gave me a gift just before the show last week, and I need to do this because this is actually in the video.
Yes,
there it is. Monkey 47. It's a Svalbard gin. It's a German gin, and it is ranked the best in the world.
Oh my God, that was so. I'll put it back in and take it out again.
Just let me pour a drink, will you? Jeez.
Oh no, that's the perfect pop.
It's a real cork what they have in this.
That's
a real cork.
Perfect pop. I want to hear it again. I could hear that all night.
You know what? We're not quite ASMR. Welcome everybody who's tuning in. Just there. There we are. My headphones are underneath my mug at this point because I drink from a mug. Welcome everybody who's tuning in. This is season 2, episode 15 of the Love Doctor live stream. We are going to be answering your questions about love, sex, and relationships. This is a big night for us because we've just recently hit like 100 subscribers. We're going to do some giveaways through the night, and I'll have some wonderful little prizes to show off. And just had to remove the cap.
That's good too.
Yeah, a little bit of the fever tree. That's the back of the label, but it's there. So that's where you get the health ingredient. I only drink this to avoid the malaria.
That's why I'm drinking orange juice today.
Vitamin C. It's good. Yes.
Exactly. Except it's my own homemade orange juice, so it's even better.
How'd you make it? Did you use any blood oranges? I always like if you use 3 regular oranges and a blood orange, it sort of draws out your blood oranges a little bit longer, and they just have a certain taste.
No, I bought these weird things called Tangerellos or something, and I got them from Loofah, and they look like they're bad, and I totally thought they were bad, but they weren't. But they're like really juicy. Like out of 5, I got so much juice, right?
Yeah. Oh, Ruroshen is saying hello from Scarborough. Congrats on 100 subscribers. Hello. Thank you, Ruroshen. We will have the giveaways are going to be coming up through the show. We get fantastic stuff. Goddess Starla, what are you drinking tonight?
Caffeine.
Yeah.
Caffeine, just raw caffeine. It's not tea or coffee. It's just caffeine. It's hot chocolate.
Black coffee.
Black coffee. Mm-hmm. All right. And we have. My goodness, we have a lot of questions here, so we should be getting started at answering these questions. I'm just saying sláinte first.
Sláinte.
Oh, that's such a good gin.
I'm just doing my obligatory we're live post, so if I'm looking down, I'm still paying attention. It'll take me 30 seconds.
All right, I'll switch Goddess since she's familiar into the hot seat, so she'll get the first question. So here we go. The first question, because we start at the bottom, though. My boyfriend was out of work because of COVID and depressed the whole time. He just got a new job and is happier, but is working all the time, and now I never see him. How do I convince him to spend less time working without sounding like an asshole? Oh, that's a tough one. And you have it first, Goddess. Do you want me to repeat the question?
No, I got it. I would say let him work. It's been so dry and so depressing. And if you have the work and he's happy, it's good to stay busy and to catch that energy and that opportunity when you can. I guess with that, it doesn't make you sound like an asshole, but it might be a time to just busy yourself with other things, or like join a class or something like that, or it's an opportunity to meet new people while your boyfriend has a heavier workload. So I would say Try to not take the wind out of his sails and just let him fly off. Let that bird fly while he has the chance.
All right, Misty.
Okay, repeat the question one more time.
All right. My boyfriend was out of work because of COVID and depressed the whole time.
Yes.
He just got a new job and is happier, but is working all the time, so I never see him. How do I convince him to spend less time working without sounding like an asshole? In just a moment, we want to say Kent Leclerc is tuned in. Hi, guys. We've got that. And
Hi.
Steve Efron, glad to join you again. Always fun and informative. Steve, I believe, is from Manhattan, if my memory serves. So we have reached an international audience.
Yay! Hello.
And Misty, your answer to the question.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I had heard it exactly right, and I did. Yeah, no, I agree with what Goddess said, which is let him work, because it has been hard. And if you are depressed without work, asking someone, I understand that you want to spend more time with them, absolutely. And I can also understand if you spent all of your time with them and then they're all of a sudden not around, that's also something that you kind of have to get used to, or you have to sort of work with your own feelings about sort of feeling, or I can imagine that you could feel almost left out of that part of their life, or maybe you're alone because you are alone or lonely, you know. But at this point, I would say just let them work and talk about it. Though you can talk about the fact that you're feeling sort of left out. Talk about your feelings. The most important thing I think that we're going to say through this whole show is communication. Communication is key. So talk about it. But I mean, if this is making him happier, let him continue with that and just have a conversation.
Boom. Good answers all around. We got Wendy Bonbons popping in to say hello. Next week, because it is Parade Weekend in Montreal, I will not be doing the Love Doctor live stream, but I will be on Wendy Bonbons' Cosmic Bonbons show. That's happening next Sunday, so we won't have a show next week for the Love Doctor live stream. Here's the thing. The only part with a question mark is how do I convince him to spend less time working without sounding like an asshole?
Yeah.
You're not sounding like an asshole. You're sounding a bit needy. So understand that, like, he'll probably at some point be fed up a bit with the work and want the extra time, but also he may need that downtime away from work to also be away from you for a little bit as well. So you should always give your partners space when they require it. But keep up the communication. Make sure that they don't feel guilty for working, because they could subliminally be picking that up from you. And you recognize how important their job is to them and their self-esteem and their attitude, because, to fight depression, etc. So that is something that you should be sort of aware of. Anyone have anything to pop onto that?
Me, just a little bit, because as you were talking and I was thinking of all of our answers, I do realize that this person did actually say, part of I think what they said is, how do I bring it up? And I don't think any of us sort of addressed sort of that idea, because like I agree with everything we said, and I totally agree, because they could also be fighting with the feeling useless. Like I know when I lost my job, I felt really useless. And so on top of that with COVID, like, getting that job and then constantly working at it, I guess, is also helping your self-esteem, right? As you just said. But if you want to bring up the conversation, which I guess is something that we didn't address, I think a lot of that is really when you need to talk about something, it's just being direct and if like I'm a person that gets emotional. So sometimes when I need to talk about something important, even though I know that it's not upsetting, I will sometimes cry, because that's sort of how my emotions are let out. So I've had to tell my partners and close friends, I'm going to cry, but this is not actually indicative of the feelings that I'm having. Like it's sort of almost like something that happens to me. So like I talk about that, and you just be honest with it and then bring it up and are open to a conversation. So the real thing is just sort of, just bringing it up.
They never asked how to address it. They only asked about how to convince them without sounding like an asshole.
How to convince them. So that's where, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So all right. Steve Efron has jumped in with, yes, Manhattan, the thought of drinking a Dom's piss excites the hell out of me, and at the same time repels me. Does the revulsion generate the excitement? Very confusing. All right, I'm in the hot seat for that one. All right, we got that question right away. All right, welcome to the Love Doctor live stream where we talk about love, sex, and relationships, and occasionally a Dom's piss. There is, I think, part of the revulsion there is a sense of dirty, and I this is theoretical just on my part. I'm not an expert here, but the idea of thinking of something as dirty is also exciting in a certain way if you are sort of fighting an internal repression. And that could be where something that revulses you also can sort of arouse you at the same time. Goddess, you're a bit more of an expert than I am, and I don't know if I highly offended you with my answer or not.
No, not at all. Maybe I am an expert. I don't know. If I am, I want some kind of a trophy or something. But I wouldn't say repulsion is the right word, because if you're repulsed, you're not going to consume it. Like, and that's not the point. That's not the point to gag on it and to so that's, I wouldn't say that's the point. I would replace the word repulsion with a challenge. It is a challenge, and that can be kind of exciting. And that's just replace drinking piss with some other kind of challenge. And it's exciting for someone to spectate that and watch the other person like go through the motions, and like physically and psychologically too, like in the expression on their face and things like that. So I don't think it's in this mean spirit where you want to make your friends sick and put them through these cruelties or anything like that. But I think part of the fun is that it's a challenge if they're consenting.
All right, so sort of you can practice by chugging pickle brine or something. Just
pickle brine's delicious though.
Or like you can, since I'm the expert, start small and see, like, just small doses and see, you don't have to, go with a whole glass.
We'll get into the after chat afterwards.
Yeah.
Misty.
I honestly don't have very much to add other than what you both said. What you said to me sounds right. I think to each their own, but I don't really know how to address if you think it's repulsive, because it's really not something that I find fun. So it's a bit harder for me to get out of the idea of just not enjoying it. But yeah, I think everything that you both just said is very important. Like, make sure everyone's consenting and have fun with it. And I think that how Goddess said it is a great way. Like, it's a challenge. It shouldn't be a repulsion.
Boom. All right. I just gonna bring that up again. The thoughts of drinking a Dom's piss excites the hell out of me, and at the same time repels me.
Oh, and at the same time. Oh,
So,
and does it generate the excitement? I see.
So does the revulsion generate the excitement? That was the question as it was phrased. I think we wandered a little bit around it, but I
thought it said repulsion. I thought it said repulsion.
Oh no, revulsion, but it does say repels me. So they're used fairly interchangeable at that point. We're ready for the next question.
Sure.
All right. Yes. All right. Let's stop talking about piss. All right.
Okay.
Damn it. All right. Nude beaches. Are they mostly for exhibitionists and voyeurs? And Misty, you are on the hot seat.
I love nude beaches. Nude beaches are just for comfortable people. When you're comfortable in your skin, a nude beach is the most fun. And even if you're not particularly comfortable in your skin, but you're like close enough, it's really fun. Because if you've ever been at a nude beach, the thing is, most of the time, I don't really see, if you're a voyeur, you're not being obvious about it, because at that point, people stand up for other people. So if they see somebody that's just sitting there staring at your naked friends and stuff, then you do get told that that's not okay behavior. It doesn't happen very often, or you get asked to leave the area where you're doing that. And exhibitionists, I don't really see people like flaunting the fact that they're naked. It's just you go, take off your bathing suit and hang out. It's the most, it's just as liberating as if you've ever been a nude model or if you've ever just been naked in public in a very comfortable place. So it's for both and neither.
Can't say it any better. It's for both and for neither.
I'm going to say both. And it's strange that you have to be kind of something of a naturalist to just show your form, right? And that makes you an exhibitionist, like, woo-wee! But yeah, to show your bare body in the sunlight, yeah, I guess you are an exhibitionist. And yeah, it's not a sexual thing, it's just an existing thing. And a voyeur, you're like a observer, but it's not like a sexual thing to just exist in your skin.
All right, there it is. You actually brought up an old term as well. Naturalist is an interchangeable term with nudist, and so
because I have a friend who's he identifies as a naturalist, and like nude beaches are his thing. Like he loves this, so he brings.
Sometimes it's nice to feel just the sun, even if you're not around other people, just to feel the sun on the parts that don't normally get it.
It's true.
It's that freeing thing.
Yeah. Though a nude
running
beach,
wild.
I think the largest problem at a nude beach is to be putting on sunblock and making it look like you're not taking a wank. That's got to be like one of the hardest things to do. Probably shouldn't have said hard there either. Or maybe it'd be having a wank and making it look like you were.
Hey, it's just self-care. It's just self-care.
It's true though.
Both of them are self-care. All right, let's move on to the next question we have. And by the way, those who are watching, let your friends know we're going to have giveaways in a little bit. The next question that we have here: when is it all right to push someone's soft limit, and can you ever push their hard limit? And Goddess, you are in the hot seat.
Pushing soft limits, like you're consenting, you're in a good mood. That's a good time to push things. Like when you've both had a good night's sleep and you're not hangry. But as for hard limits, like a hard limit's a hard limit. And like I had someone today, like even before the show, I was talking about my hard limits and my boundaries, and they sent me a message asking, well, why is that your hard limit? And it's like, what? Why do you need you explain yourself? And it's like, you don't need to keep explaining yourself further and further and further. So it's like, you just state that's my hard limit. Those are my boundaries. And it's not something to just keep being prodded or pushed. So with the hard limits, that is something that you want to respect. And if you can't respect that, then that person's going to block the conversation altogether. You're out the door, like bye, because a hard limit is a hard limit. It doesn't need to be pushed or justified over and over and over again. So, yeah.
Boom. Well said. Misty.
I don't think I have anything to add to that. You said exactly what I was thinking. Like a soft limit can be tested, especially like you said, if you're in a good mood, but a hard limit, like you have a boundary, you have where you're willing to go. You can have conversations, I suppose, like maybe that'll change, but I doubt it. A hard limit is yourself and well enough to know what you're saying no to, right? So don't push it.
I recently had to describe to someone eating chips in my bed was a hard limit. And all right, some people view the same, some people don't. But yeah, soft limits can be played with, as long as it's definitely not done in a vindictive way, that you are playing with a partner or partners that are going to engage in it safely. That's why I like the traffic light system on top of a safe word. So yellow, you're kind of getting too far. Green for go ahead, and red for stop. But when it comes to hard limits, if somebody tells you they have a hard limit, you can let them know that they can approach you if they ever want to like address or go a bit more in detail into it. But don't prod, don't ask over and over again about them breaking their hard limit. Because that's disrespectful, as well as maybe adding to a level of trauma they feel about it. So that's something to not address. Somebody gives you a hard limit, it's off the table, and unless they bring it up that they want to do it or want to try it. All right, next questions are. There we go. Next question. Do you prefer sex with the lights on or off, and why?
Ooh.
I'm in the hot seat. I'm just happy to be there. Probably with the lights on, because I do enjoy watching my partner's face, watching the body and how they move. That's just can be so sexy. Goddess.
I like the lights on because I'm probably hurting them at the same time. So if I want to like have clothespins on their nipples, like I want to be able to see where I'm hitting. Or if I'm like choking them or something, I don't want to poke them in the eye. Like, so let's have the lights on so I can choke them.
All right. Goals.
Great answer. I guess. Well, I like both, but I think lights on is what I would normally go for. But there was once I had a partner that, I don't know, we had started making out and then we both got really tired and decided we didn't want to do it anymore. So we turned the lights off and like we sleep in the dark. And so then while we were cuddling, both of us started, getting excited. And then we totally full on had sex with complete darkness. And so that was actually really fun because it's something I hadn't done in a long time. So I think I would prefer lights on because I also really enjoy seeing the person, everything about them. But then the lights off was really exciting because it was like we couldn't see anything. It's like
Would you
deprivation.
equate it to similar to like a blindfold?
Yeah, except for your eyes are open, so you don't feel the restriction of the blindfold, like that's keeping you from seeing. Whereas this, like my eyes were completely open. I just couldn't see anything. Like I could see his figure, but it was really that dark. I couldn't see much else. So that was exciting. It was almost like it was exciting.
All right. And I do want to say none of us gave any love to low light.
Oh, when I think lights on, I think low light. That's where my brain goes because I mean, if you could see my apartment now, the brightest thing is how this ring light looks on me. Like, I love low light. My life exists in low light and colorful blinky things. So,
Right.
like, I have a smart bulb in my bedroom. I can have it whatever color I want. That's fun too.
Boom.
I
I want to thank people who are tuning in. Remember to hit the like, hit subscribe, so you know when we're about to go to air. It's going to be 2 weeks before we air again, but we have some giveaways to be doing as well. But Steve has asked another question. Is there any harm or danger in using a dominant submissive play to channel real life frustrations, anger, etc.? Misty, would you mind if I got Starla to answer this question first?
Not at all.
All right. So, Starla, you've got the hot seat. Do you want to read the question again?
No, I think I have it. It depends on how much self-control you have. Because I've had this conversation with another woman who's a dominatrix, and because I had mentioned that I channel my anger and like let it sit there in a ball and wait till like I have an opportunity to like unleash it. And she was kind of like, no, you don't harness your frustrations. I think because you need inspiration and motivation. Um, I think to physically get the motivation, you need gusto that comes from somewhere. Otherwise, it's just going to be like an empty dominating, right? So I would say draw inspiration of your frustrations from real life, but you can't let it like get out of control. And I'm like, there's a difference between thinking about, okay, well, yeah, I guess I probably do use dominating as an outlet a little bit more, because I'll think about like if somebody said something disrespectful to me or made me angry, and but I try to control myself and check myself that the person in front of me doesn't deserve that. Like they don't deserve to be a substitute for what the other person did.
Boom. I'm gonna go back to Misty.
Sure.
And we just got a cat.
Yeah, he actually just deep sighed and then came over. It was kind of funny. Um, I don't really have a lot of experience with that, to be perfectly honest. So I don't know. I think exactly what you just said, Goddess, makes sense to me. I also think in a situation like this where you have roles to play, like, I mean, technically you are playing roles, right? So as you just said, like, I mean, with acting, because I have acting background, you do draw on real life. So you do take things that have happened and you're able to use that in order to convey the emotion that you want to convey. So that's basically exactly what you said. So I can imagine that would be it. But if it's actually to take a situation in your life that has made you really angry and you want to sort of release that, then that might be sort of not the best way to go about it, because as Goddess had said, like if you don't have a lot of self-control, then that can get out of hand.
Boom. All right, with all the cat hair in your mouth. I will. I guess I'm. Last one. I agree with all of you. I believe. In emotive context, like it's a lot easier to play a role if you can be emotionally into it at the same time. But as Goddess Starla pointed out, have the self-control to pull back when necessary.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like mens rea, but on an emotional level when you're doing that kind of connection. I know I just used a legal term, which is kind of weird. The guilty mind. But at the same time, it's not really in a dominant, submissive play point. A hate fuck could be a wonderful thing. If you have like this partner you had a bad breakup with, but you just get together for the sex, you can find out that, all right, now I got that out of my system and we can have a more adult relationship that doesn't necessarily involve fucking, but at least everything is sort of resolved if you've had like some really good hate fuck. I just saying a really
It's
good
confusing.
Hate fuck. What, hate fucks or
the love hate thing?
the love hate? It's some, not all relationships end cleanly, and working to repair those because they were people that you liked and that you enjoyed being around, and something has happened to sort of either break that trust. And if you can fix it, you can fix it, and you'd still maybe keep that person as a friend. But if you don't want to fix it, then you're just going to have that little trigger button in your head, in your history, and moving forward. And I think a lot of people suffer like anguish or like mental pain over the things that they didn't do, to make things better. So that's just my take on it, if that makes sense. All right, we got Contra 420 is saying hi from Ottawa.
Hello, Ottawa.
Hey.
Hello, Ottawa. I think we're gonna do maybe our first giveaway.
Woo, do it.
So, all right, this will take me a moment. We gotta.
We can't see that.
We can't see that. This is this is a magic thing. Let me just. So
Stand up and
if
put
you
it in
want
front of you.
to
Or
join
is it
in,
green?
all
No,
right,
we can't see
what-
it. It's just the background. It must be green.
Yes, it is. It's a green bag, and I'll pull the things out of the bag. But if you want to enter this, type into the chat right now TLD Love 1. TLD
it.
Love 1 for your chats. Now, in this, we've got some little things. We've got some kisses,
Yummy
some
chocolatey
Hershey kisses. We've got a scented candle. Smells very
Ooh.
nice. And that's upside down, I think. Oh, it's got a
Nice.
sexy
No, it looked
little
good.
picture on it. We've got we got a couple lollipops.
Yum.
So one is a green apple and the other one is cherry.
I love lollipops.
And we've got some
Lotto cards?
lotto cards, but they're love lotto. So you scratch them off, and
Ooh.
that's the dirty gift you and your partner play out, or partners play out. And holy crap, how much stuff is in this bag? All right.
Did you just see that?
Well, oh, somebody went for your vodka. All right,
My
the
cat,
things.
yeah, he just lifted his hand and brought it to his face. Sorry. Things I love.
The things I love about you, which is
Cute.
sort of it's a fill in the blank book.
That's really
So-
fun.
Yeah. So there's.
Love Doctor, were these all donated?
That's all I
I
got.
can't read that.
I couldn't read it either.
My glasses aren't strong enough for me to read this either. But it's so that's an example. And of course, the final thing that are in here. I'm holding two of these for Misty and for
Yes.
one other person as well. But we got a Love
Stickers.
Doctor live stream sticker. So
I
all
want to
of
make
that's in
pasties
here.
out of them, and then I'm going to be on the show in just those.
Oof. All right.
Mhm.
All right.
Well, I'll tease it, and then if we get enough tips, then I'll be in. Except for
Alright.
not really, because we're not allowed to do that, but you know.
I just took a look. Nobody has entered the contest. The draw.
Come enter the contest.
So
We can't draw a name if we don't know
we
you're
c-
there.
if no one has entered, like if you're the only person who enters, then you would
You get everything.
automatically win.
Yeah.
And
we
then-
know there's
Come
people watching.
down.
You should enter the contest, Ottawa.
You
Or
guys don't
Manhattan.
want kisses?
Yeah. Okay, so funny story about Hershey's Kisses. When I
Alright.
was in grade 8, so however old you are in grade 8, I don't know, 13, 14, I don't know. I went on like a skiing trip and we had a teacher's assistant that everybody had a crush on, but he was, you know, he wasn't flirty or anything. But I remember going up to him and being like, "Can I offer you a kiss?" And he got so completely embarrassed, and I did it on purpose because then I was like, "A Hershey's kiss." And he's like, "That wasn't funny, but I'll take the chocolate." And then he took the kisses and then left. So he's like, "That is not appropriate." And he put me in my place right away. But you know, when you're a teenager and you have a crush, you try.
Right.
But
All right.
he was he understood. Like, it's a teenager. No, no, no.
Yes, which is good.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to leave that hashtag running along the bottom to place it in chat for your chance to
Oh my
win.
God, no.
I can see we have viewers. Maybe that gift pack just wasn't interesting enough for them. I've got bigger ones coming. So we'll see how this goes. But we have our next question.
I want to sign in and put my name in there.
At this point, go right ahead. Do you think rom-coms are setting unrealistic expectations in youth as they begin to explore the world of dating? And we did get, there we go. We've got one TLD Love 1. We're going to do the draw at 9:40. All right.
Okay.
So that's the question. And I'm in the hot seat, so I think they've always had. I think that's one of the toxic problems with society is that we've always had unrealistic expectations presented in art, and in that art, people trying to live up to these things that are either unrealistic or unachievable. And people being disappointed because the art is not like the real thing. and that's something that has always been going on. It's not just something new. It's not just rom-coms that are currently happening. I mean, who was expecting Gene Kelly to go sing in the rain with them? Back in the day, because that's how a man in love acted. Misty.
I mean, things like this, like, it's a good thing to think about, but I think that it all comes down to how people are learning about different things. Yay, another one. Like, I don't know. As you said, it's art, right? And I mean, even if it's not necessarily highbrow art, we could say, or you could argue what is highbrow art and what isn't. Like, everything we consume is kind of setting an unreal expectation in some way, isn't it? And then also, like, are we going to blame every bad relationship on the fact that we just watched a rom-com where you want things to work out proper and
10
you want,
Things I Hate About You.
like, there's lots of things that are problematic. Like, this is like a heightened version of what we want it to be. Like, or do you want that? Do you want somebody to actually fall in love with you so hard that that's all they can think of? Like, that's really unhealthy. I really think that the thing is it only sets an unreal expectation when you have somebody that's what they're learning from. It's the same thing you can say about porn. Porn sets a very unreal expectation of what sex is, right? But you have to understand that this is not reality. So does it set an unreal expectation? I mean, if you let it, it does, but that's how I feel.
All right. Goddess Starla.
I don't think it does. It's entertainment. It's not real life. Something isn't real just because you watch it on a TV or because you hear it on the internet. So always apply critical thinking. And if it's the first few times that you're watching romantic comedies and like you're forming your ideas about the world, then it might skew you a little bit, but you have to use your better judgment and you learn through the struggle, and you learn more about people's character, and it has to come from somewhere. So I think, because I've been seeing like a lot of articles and comments about just hating on romantic comedies, and it's like, it's just junk food. It's like 2 hours of escapism. And like I was rewatching Pretty Woman, and like, as a sex worker, there's a debate like, this is completely unrealistic, like hooker with a heart of gold, it's terrible. But it's like, it's just junk food and it's cute, and I wish that the guy would come with the flowers and the limo at the end of the movie. But life goes on. Like, there is no happy ending, but like, things just keep going and going, and that's just part of the reality, and you learn that struggle somewhere. And it's hearts get broken and they mend again, and we pick up and go on, and movies change, entertainment changes, and it's like, there's so many outlets for unrealistic, toxic portrayal of human behavior, but you have to look at it critically. Like, look at Shakespeare. Like, look how violent just like
Sex-filled.
Yeah, and it's like, they're not good examples, but we look back on that like, this is theater, and you have to look at it critically. So
and it's also like, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah.
It's also really a reflection of the time that we're growing up in too, like in the 90s, in the late 80s, early 90s, like, people were told that you don't give up. And it's basically, people were told not to take no for an answer unless it was with sex, but even then you could try to persuade someone. And we've all learned how bad that actually is now, like, it's really,
so many John Cusack films.
Oh my God, he never gave up, and I loved him for it. And then now I rewatch them, and I'm like, ugh. If somebody was like that with me, I would tell them I will call the cops on them sooner or later. Like, fuck off, like, So
we can't history. It's already there. You can't change it. What's done is done. So what
exactly
we can do is
you said.
just apply critical thinking in the future, and that's all
I
we can
I agree
control.
with both of you. I just don't. Critical thinking should be taught in the classroom, maybe, but that's where
Yeah.
they want people to not be critically thinking. And the question does specify expectations in youth. It's when you're older, you have a broader knowledge base that you can do critical thinking a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
I
Goddess Starla brought up something that I thought was very important. There's so many mediums that have toxic expectations associated with them. I think one of the worst is Instagram.
oh my. Yeah.
Instagram or TikTok, both of them. It's like it's always the
I'll
best
get
life.
on a rant. Yeah.
Yep.
It's yeah.
All right. So that is enough of a rant on that. I said we're going to do the draw, so I should probably do the draw. This is going to, yep. All right. As we set this up.
Awesome. I'm mixing
and-
another drink while we do that.
Yes. All right.
Actually, I think I still have one. Never mind. I can't see in my glass, so sometimes I think it's empty and it's not. Haha.
That's the way that goes. All right. So I have to do that to go in here and share a different screen to be able to do this tool. All right. That is it. So we have
How are you doing
this.
the draw? Oh.
All right. There's 2 entries. There's just 2 entries.
Oh, put me in
I
there
was
too.
go-
No, I'm kidding.
What was that?
I said put me in there too.
I can't. You have to put it in through the chat.
Okay.
So
I don't want to
you'd,
do
ha-
it.
you'd have to log in and do it. But here we go. Are we ready? This is the draw. Drum rolls, please, for these 2 entries. Look at this. Look
Who's
at
it
this.
gonna
See
be?
if we get.
Oh, look, I'll do it. Here you go. Can you see them?
Oh, are you
Winner!
shaking? Are you shaking?
I was, yeah.
There was a shimmy with that. There it is. The winner is Christian Menard. Welcome, Christian. We'll get you your information after the show. Send a message to the Love Doctor page, or we'll reach out. We have staff that's working hard to make sure. I had somebody go out and buy all these gifts specifically to give away. So
Oh, it's not
we really do
donated
appreciate
even.
all the people that watch. The show is
Oh.
run off of your donation. So Christian, you have got the first benefit of that. We have more coming up later. There'll be a new TLD code, but we will have that set up. So Christian Menard is our first winner.
Fun.
And there we go. All right. Thank you kindly. Good. Nobody in the chat is giving them congratulations. I guess they're all bitter they didn't win.
There's only... Sorry.
You're salty, did you say?
No, I was going to say there's only 2 people that entered, but anyway. Congratulations again. Here's another shimmy.
Woo.
With the double chin. That's fine.
All right. And let's get back here into the other questions.
Oh, why? It's the night.
There we are. Oops. It probably helps if I add it. Is there a smell that arouses you that is not necessarily arousing, i.e. liquid laundry detergent, as I always wash my sheets before my partner comes over? All right. That is Goddess Starla's in the hot seat.
Yeah, I think it's like a personal thing. Because you make like the association. Smell is like a memory trigger. So say if you have a partner that wears like a certain smell, like say like vanilla or something. So when you smell vanilla, it's going to remind you of those times that you spent with them. So, but yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense that you could be aroused by a smell.
Boom. I not necessarily no, I if I say this, I'm gonna sound like a creep.
Say it.
It's okay.
when you're with like a woman and you can smell that she's aroused.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
that scent. I mean, it's not like I'm immediately going to act on it, but I will notice.
But I will notice. Rare.
All right.
Um,
Misty.
is there a scent that's not, hmm.
Not
See,
necessarily arousing.
yeah, I mean, a lot of different things I like the smell of. I do like the smell of people sometimes, like
Mm.
certain partners. Like I had an ex-partner that whatever scent it was that he always wore was like I could bury my face right here and just be like and would love every second of it. And I like the smell. I do like the smell after while you're making out, like how a person's breath will smell when they're turned on. That's really hot. Um, I like the sex smell in general. Like if you have like really good sex and then, you go pee after and you come back and that kind of must, I kind of like that too. But then there's also like, okay, so I like smells apparently, because I do like colognes and perfumes, some of them. And I also like food. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily turn me on, but it does excite me if that's a but exactly the same sense, I don't know. It really depends on my mood. Sometimes it could be bacon because I can't eat it anymore, so now it's like the forbidden food. And then, yeah, other times it's like a homey smell. Yeah,
Boom.
I don't know. I like a lot of smells.
Sometimes it's awkward when someone smells good because it's
Yeah,
like, and you can't tell them.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, I
but
do.
Yes.
sometimes I usually
That's
don't.
Like
oh,
like
I
if somebody
do.
smells like
I'm like,
vanilla, just saying to them, "Oh, you smell like vanilla." That's not that bad. But if you smell someone's arousal,
Like if I'm at the grocery store or something and just
yeah,
like,
okay, that's
and
true.
I'll be like just in the aisle and someone will smell good and it's like I can smell them from up the aisle and it's like, mm, but
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
you
you're like,
don't.
wait,
It's
am I
not really a compliment.
it's weird if it depends really, because I have done that whole "What are you wearing?" Like, I've passed a complete stranger and had to be like, "I'm really sorry. What are you wearing?" Like, that is what are you wearing? Like, I did that to yeah, I've done that to men and women too, or I've done that just to anybody. Yeah. I'm an extrovert in that way, so I really don't mind because then I don't mind looking silly. People like, "Nothing. I just worked out." I'm like, "Well, you've good pheromones. Bye." Like, because most of the time
nice.
I'm like, they're never gonna see me again. And if they
I
do,
want
then I'll just be that person.
to thank you both for not making me feel creepy after my answer.
That's not creepy.
All right. We got a question in chat from Steve Efron, who didn't even join in for the chance to win an
Yeah,
item, but
what's on the
still
go,
has a chance. He
Manhattan?
still has a chance. We got 2 more items coming up. Is it delusional to think or pretend that any relationship will go on forever? Count me a pessimist. Misty, you have this
Oh.
question first.
Okay, so my longest relationship was 4 years, and 3 of those years weren't very good. So I'm not, I mean, I don't think anything lasts forever. Really, in like the long term of it, even if you find a partner that say you're with until you die, I mean, it lasts until you die. Is that forever, really? Could it last after your death? I don't know. What do you mean by forever? That's an open-ended question.
All
Yeah,
right.
this is
So
like
we're debating the context of the question. Steve wants to clarify, but forever, I mean until death is how I would take it.
I
But
mean, then that
goddess,
happens. Okay.
yeah. Um, some people stay to forever. The word forever. We die. So if your partner's alive, you might still be in love until you die, and then
Mhm.
the other partner is alive, but then they're keep on living. So, um, but we can be optimistic about staying together a long time.
It's
And then
true.
because we don't need to debate like eternal life and things like that and like
It's true.
you know um but life is long. Time can be long, so you know just be optimistic about it. And yeah, It's
Yeah.
not. It's not like the end of Pretty Woman. You know, it's just not. I wish Richard Gere come on his limo with the roses. Like I wish.
All right. Okay.
bet he
Christopher Kelly
smells
jumped
good.
in to go a little late for the first draw, but we are going to have a second draw, and it's going to be TLD Love 2. TLD Love 2 will be
Is
the
that an
second
updated
draw.
picture? That's a nice picture, Christopher.
Yeah. Oh, well, that picture got Christopher hit on by
Felicia.
by Felicia last. Oh, you were watching. That's right.
Yeah.
So
When I can watch, I do.
there we are. So we have our next question. Oh, hold it. Why am I still in the big thing? Did I answer that the first question?
I don't think you did.
Oh, all right. Just quickly. I don't think it's delusional. I think it's delusional though to think that a relationship would go on forever without work. Both people or all the people in the relationship, don't be mononormative, need to be wanting that relationship to continue, and they need to be open to communication, and they have to let the other people know when they're having difficulties. And they have to be open to suggestions. And like I said, everybody has to work on it. That's what makes a relationship work. Those who believe in happily ever after, as you can get from the merch store, is Disney has lied to you.
Yes.
There's no such thing as happily ever after. It's happy until shit goes wrong. And then
and then it's
what
how do
you
you deal
decide to
with
do
it?
about that shit is whether or not
Exactly.
it goes any longer.
I mean, I do have friends that have been in relationships that like got in a relationship in high school and they're still together, but they actively work at it.
Yes. My own parents were married over 60 years, and then when one passed, the other one passed within 6 months of what a lot of people would call a broken heart. Some
Aw.
people would call a stroke, but yeah,
Sorry.
it's all right. I said it in a humorous way. All right, my girlfriend bucks, twitches, and occasionally pushes me off when I perform cunnilingus on her.
Uh-huh.
She tells me and she enjoys it immensely, but her body language is making me think otherwise. If it is pleasurable for her, why does her body try to get away from me? And I'm in the hot seat. All right. I will not. I can't put myself in the place of your partner. I know sometimes performing oral, a person can make a little mistake or be a little bit rough, which can cause that. I think communication is going to be the key thing. So they know to be saying things like "don't stop" or "yes," even if they have the immediate physical sensation of they want to push off. The twitching and bucking can be unconscious, if we could say that. It's just like I had a partner seriously cut the inside of my lip up here, and it all swelled out just from a pelvic bone coming into to my face repeatedly, and of course I didn't stop. Misty, your answer on that one?
As I'm pouring myself some vodka. Yeah, that can really be involuntary, and it's just like sometimes, in my own experience, sometimes it can be too intense, and I've learned now when it is too intense, for me, that's not always enjoyable. So if my body's doing that, then we have to take a break. That's just me. But sometimes it's literally just, it really can be that like it's just involuntary. And also I understand that I've definitely done the you don't realize that you're pushing down on someone's head so hard thing until they tell you that you are, because it feels so good. So yeah. The reason why, I don't really have a reason why. It's just sometimes your body does that,
Boom.
in my experience.
All right, Starla's there. It's also is that Manlin Zhang? Sorry if I mispronounced the name. Is hi from Montreal. Welcome, Manlin,
Hi,
to the
Montreal.
show. We have a giveaway that's going to be coming up fairly shortly, so you could put in the hashtag TLDLove2. So that's running along the bottom, and we could always take a few more questions too. So, Goddess, your answer to the question.
So the clit can be so sensitive. like so sensitive,
Yes.
to the point where it's just like
Almost painful.
it's painfully pleasurable. Like, yeah. So this, like, it's a hot button. So it, like, you're pressing the button, and then like it might just be she's overstimulated, and like, I'm sorry if she's like need you in the face or something like that, and then maybe she's into like restraints, and you can like tie her legs to something, or if she's into bondage, but it could just be something that she's doing it involuntarily and doesn't notice she's doing it, and it's a hot button, so it can be like a jolt of electricity coursing through your body. So the clit's sensitive. It's nothing.
I got that too.
And if she says she likes it,
Well,
like, she probably does. So
yeah, like if she's being honest with you and saying that she likes it, then she does like it, and it's just her body doing that thing that it does when it's overstimulated. That's the perfect word. Overstimulated. Been there. That's why I had a partner that I didn't really trust him as well, so that was the problem. So I didn't trust him to actually listen to me if I said like stop if he was overstimulating me, so I would never do the whole bondage thing. But I mean, to me, it sounds like she is enjoying it. She's already told you that she is. If you guys speak about that and there's consent, I bet that would be super fun. So, like, you should do that if you both consent, obviously.
I have to say, most of my sex injuries have come from me performing cunnilingus. It's just... it's a weird thing to say. The most memorable ones, anyways. All right.
It can be fun.
Yeah. Again, you have to trust your partner to be truthful when they're saying that, no, don't stop. So.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully they are, and they haven't been watching romantic comedies that just say keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
All right, we have our next question. Actually, I'm going to show what's in the bag, and then we can start collecting.
Bag number 2, and in this bag we have.
In this bag, which is.
Oh, I love this bag.
It looks like it's got clear sides, but that's just brick wall.
I love it. It's like a Christmas bag almost, because it's red and white,
almost,
and then like
it's
green
got red and green, which is. I know that's Christmassy. On this one here, we have some synthetic rose petals. So if you want to spread them out for a good night, and any that aren't too soiled, you can put back and use again. We've got.
I love it.
The Naughty and Nice date kit. So it's got cards in there to come up with ideas for dates.
Both of these bags.
We have the Hershey Hugs.
Oh, that's cute.
As well as the special edition pink Hershey Kisses.
There's pink ones? Oh, okay.
Well, it's a pinkish purple bag, anyways.
Got you. I thought it was pink chocolate, and I was very excited.
All right, we got. Now this is a little heteronormative dice game, but I'm sure you can modify it for any partners out there. So start putting in the TLD Love 2 if you want to be entered into this draw. There's still more stuff coming out. There's only the one sucker this time, and that's
you have to share.
Cherry flavored, yeah.
Mm.
What was it? This looks. Oh, this. Yeah, this is. All right. Let's see. These are. I might just excuse the darkness that I'm about to present. But, I don't know if you can see this. These are black light candles.
Oh, no, I didn't.
And they are low heat candles as well, so for dripping on a partner.
Oh.
And with a little bit of black light. And of course, last thing in here, just as I'm big it in,
stickers.
Is a Love Doctor Livestream sticker. So
I want it.
Those are all in this one. We're going to be doing that giveaway after the next question. So you need to put in your TLD Love 2. See if I can get all this stuff back in here. I really want to thank the shopping department that went out and helped select all of this.
Oh,
as Misty is doing the sign language interpretation for TLD2. Which, if you're
oh, it
watching
would
with
be
this with captions,
TLD.
it is live. So if there's any mistakes in the captioning, that's because the computer's not keeping up, but that's okay. I thank you very much for tuning in. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. The show is far from over. We've got another question coming in here. All right,
Ask
let's
all the
see if I got it
questions.
lined it up. We got, yes. My
I'm in the
love
mood to.
languages are physical touch and quality time, while my partner's love language is gift giving. Sometimes she goes above and beyond with the gifts, and while I understand this is how she expresses her love, it occasionally makes me feel uncomfortable.
Hmm.
How do I get her to stop spending so much money on me? And Starla's in the hot seat.
You can obviously you've talked with her that you don't need her to buy you gifts, but if she's gonna do it, she's gonna do it, and um, just receive them. But I can understand how that might put you under pressure to like them more than you
Hmm.
do, or to use them. Like, if, say, for example, like she buys you a sweater and then you don't wear the sweater because you didn't want it, and she's like, "Well, why don't you wear that sweater?" Then it's sort of like,
It's summer.
yeah. But and it can become sort of a controlling thing too. Like, if you say like, I don't want this, like, this isn't something I'm interested in. Um, yeah, it's hard because you're not speaking the same language. I guess it depends on like how much she's spending on you and what kind of things they're for, or if she's gonna like twist it around in a strange way, like, oh, don't you like it? Don't you appreciate it? Like, don't you wear it? Then that's just sort of like a strange kind of control thing. But if she's just casually getting things for you, like every once in a while, um, then there's no harm in just accepting and just like appreciating the small gifts, even if, and it doesn't mean that you have to buy her things, and you use your language and what you like to reciprocate.
Boom. It's well said. I wasn't even thinking about the idea of manipulating somebody by purchasing gifts. Uh, I it needs to be addressed carefully if you do address it, because of the fact that they can feel that the rejection of the gifts could be a rejection of them. And personally, I would try to make the person feel appreciated and say that you don't need to do this, but when they do it, you shouldn't turn it down. It's hard, especially if there's an income inequality. I know societal issues will take a look at men making less than women as weak. And you could be feeling that weakness if your partner, I'm assuming because of the genders, they said she, and they didn't say their own gender. This could be two women. I may be mistaken, but if it is a man, then he might feel the societal pressure, which is a made up pressure. So you can kind of safely ignore that. But yeah, it comes down to like it probably could even be such thing as they want to buy dinner every time you go out. But that's again, it's what you can be comfortable with, what you can afford, and you want to make sure that they feel appreciated, but make sure that you let them know that you are appreciating them for more than just the gifts. Appreciate them as a person. Just understand that if you start refusing the gifts, they may take that as a refusal of them, because that's their love language. Misty.
So, as someone that I enjoy doing things for others, and I enjoy people giving me gifts, like I really do enjoy that. I understand how sometimes that does make people uncomfortable. So, I mean, I'm going to say, like I say it every time I'm on this show a million times, communication is key. So you understand that this is their love language. They like to shower you with gifts. This is what they do, and it makes them happy, and it's how they show their love. If it's stuff that feels too extravagant to you, because you also have to be able to receive it, and if you find that hard, it's all about communication. And the easiest thing, at least from what what works with me when people talk to me and they don't say, I love to make my bed when I get up in the morning. So when I have a partner, the thing I like to do is make their bed when I leave it. Like whenever I get out of bed, I need to make it. It's a thing now. That's part of me. And that used to make one of my partners uncomfortable just because, I don't know, it just made him uncomfortable and he didn't like it. So he had to sort of talk to me about it. And it's really about, if you say, I appreciate that this is your love language, and I really appreciate you getting me things and you showing me that you love me in that way, but maybe you could give me smaller things that are less expensive, that then I can receive that easier than if you go out and buy me, a $3,000 diamond necklace. Like, just just
Are you
putting it
showing
out
off
there.
that necklace that you're wearing right now? Is
Well,
that
yes, I am. It's actually aquamarine, my birthday stone. It is surrounded in diamonds. But anyway, it was my aunt's. But that is why it came to my head. But it's really just about communication. If you communicate clearly, I love you and I appreciate this and I appreciate that this is your love language, since you have clearly both already talked about that, I think that it's really okay to say, however, when it's expensive and extravagant, it makes me uncomfortable. Can we try something else?
boom? All right. Good answers. I
Hmm.
think from everyone.
Yep.
This is no, I said we were going to do it right after, but this is a question in chat, so I want to address it right away. It gives a couple more people to put it in there. The TLD love 2, the hashtag TLD love 2,
Yes.
for a chance to win from for the second bag. I apologize for introducing this thought, but I have a bit of trouble engaging in a form as fun as this, knowing what is now happening in the world. Is the correct attitude life goes on? This is a heavy thing. So what's happening in the world? Um, does that mean everything else should stop? Or I'm trying to interpret the question. But I will allow Misty, since they are in the hot seat, to get the first crack at this one.
I mean, I'm a bit of an enigma when it comes to this stuff because, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm like a lot of people, I don't know, but I deal with things like this in my true Piscean nature, which is, if I don't pay attention to it, it doesn't exist. Because sometimes I find it just really overwhelming and too much to think about. Like when the orange turd was president, like I couldn't even deal with that, and I literally don't speak his name, and I didn't watch him on the news, and I didn't hear anything. Like if World War III happened while he was president, I wouldn't know it until someone put it on Facebook, and then I will do my research. I'll look for articles in many different places and read about it. So for me, my way of dealing is avoidance, and that's not necessarily the healthiest thing, but at least I'm aware. Um, at this point, I think that you have to do what's going to actually help you through it. So if there's a way that you can help out by donating to a Red Cross, in the Ukraine, or by anything, figuring it out, if you have to go deep dive and read all the news articles and everything about it just so that you know more, do it. I don't think there is a correct attitude. It's really all dependent on what works for you. My attitude, I can't say that life goes on. It does. Like, I'm in Montreal. I don't have a lot of money to donate things. I don't really know exactly how to help the situation, and so I just kind of hope for the best. To be honest, it's not necessarily the best thing, but that's what I do.
Go to Starla.
One of my friends posted on Facebook today, like how I felt about this exactly is, I wish I had it like in front of me, but it's okay to feel simultaneous emotions all at once. So it's okay to be devastated by the state of the world. It's okay to be happy thinking about the weekend. It's okay to be excited for spring, and it's okay to be upset about catastrophe. And you might, and when I read that, I'm like, okay, I am simultaneously like just having all these feelings. Like last night before I went to bed, like I was looking at TikToks in Ukraine and like crying myself to sleep. Like I cried myself to sleep. And I thought, I don't have to watch this, like, and I might give me nightmares. I had a few nightmares already, but there I was, like, watching that right before to bed because I thought I want to I know this is happening and I'm not gonna and I have to process it. So just giving myself the time to
Mm-hmm.
process it. So I knew, like, last night I'd have time to dedicate towards that. And then today, like, thinking, okay, what, like, I feel helpless. What am I gonna do? What do we do? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a conversation with my friend and she said, my work is sending donations off to Ukraine. Is there something you want to donate? And I thought, okay, I'm gonna buy some pads and tampons and send them off. And
Mm-hmm.
how many tampons am I gonna buy? Like, I have to rationalize this. Like, what is realistic for my budget? Like, how
Mm-hmm.
much can I give? And I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna realistically make a plan for how much I can donate.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Smart.
you come to a conclusion and you process it, and then you have to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You need
100%.
you physically need to take care of yourself, like, and you need to go to work. Like, I can't just fall into a downward spiral watching TikToks in Ukraine, crying every day. You know, I can't, I have to work. Like, so but you have to process, right? And you have to um try to plan, like, when are you going to, like, what what can you give and when, right? And then um after that, you need to take care of yourself and you need to take care of your mental health and reconnect with your friends and people you love, and continue with your regular activities, because that's what is healthy, I think.
That is a great way
Yeah.
to be looking at it. I will state, I and hopefully all of this show stands with Ukraine. Black Lives Matter. COVID is a naturally occurring virus that has made the jump to human beings to very deadly effect. We need to respect each other and each other's safety. Wearing masks is important because if you, even if you are feel that you will be okay, there's a chance if you're carrying it, you can give it to somebody who's not.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these things I think are important. All of these things seem like doomsday moments. But if we fail to look for happiness, if we fail to stop communicating, to stop our regular attitude, then it is a doomsday
Mm-hmm.
because it
Yeah.
is stopping us. Now it says the correct attitude necessarily isn't life goes on. The correct attitude is I will make the best parts of life continue.
Yeah.
All right. So joining each other here, I think, is a good way to do that. I thank you, Steve, for spending some of the time here. Yes,
Yeah.
there's some dark things happening in the world right now,
I
and
mean,
they happen because these people are not using compassion. They're not using kindness. They're not thinking above greed and their orders.
I
But
mean, like, I guess, like, I grew up in Newfoundland and, like, it's small in, a small city that still to this day only has 150,000 people, and that's the biggest city in all of the whole province of Newfoundland and Labrador, which only has 500,000 people. And if you see the landmass, it's huge. There's nobody in it, basically. So I feel like I was very sheltered for a lot of things. However, in the 90s, I did find out about East Timor, which is a place that was invaded by Indonesia. So they were basically went through a genocide in the 90s. It was in the 70s that it was invaded, and the invasion didn't stop until sometime in the 2000s. Like, it's really sad. And so I feel like in this kind of thing, like, we have that. We have Palestine. We have so many other places that we don't even know about. We have Iran. We have like so many places that have already been invaded and this has already happened to. So, not to say that it's not important because it is and it's sad and we're watching it unfold and we're watching these people be, thrown out of their homes and having to flee because they want safety. It's just sort of it's happening all the time all over the world. So it is like you have to, like, I think what the Love Doctor said is just like, for me, I got really disillusioned after hearing that in the 90s, and then it just never changed. Um, that I really did have to realize that, like, you can love the best parts of life and the best parts of your life in particular without necessarily doing what I do and, being an
Walking
ostrich
off.
and hiding my head instead of the cloud that's the ground, but you get it.
Acts of kindness are acts of rebellion against oppression.
100%, and that's
we,
kindness to everyone.
we got a comment in here saying, Lusty Onyx, hi, lovely people. Hello,
Yay,
Lusty.
hi, Lusty.
We are about to do a draw. So if anyone who's
Ooh.
out there watching right now, your
TLT
thoughtful
love
responses
too.
help me. Thank you. Our pleasure, Steve.
Mhm.
And if you're entering the draw, you should be entering the draw right about now. And so it is hashtag TLD love 2. We'll just give
it's 4.
What?
There's 4 entries.
There's 4 entries so far. I just want to give a couple minutes because there's a couple people in the chat who haven't entered yet.
Enter.
But I'm just gonna go slaunch it, take a drink.
Okay. I'll have another one.
There we go. All right. And Christian, who's the winner for the first one, is being very gracious with the good luck, folks.
Good luck to everyone.
I guess at this point I'm gonna do it. Are we set? We're good. We got a countdown.
Drum roll?
Yep. Drum roll.
Yeah. This is not that easy.
Roshan from Scarborough, Ontario is the winner of that bag. Now I'm going to do a bit of an executive call. I think I'll wait for the third bag is going to be next week, so I can do more hype for it, because people I think are tuning in not realizing that we were doing giveaways because we have the 100 subscribers, which I believe is now over 100. So thank you, please, for subscribing, hitting the lucks. We got congrats from Christian Menard. No one gave Christian the congrats
we did
earlier. Oh, we did, but no one typed it out, and he went, "Yay!" All right. So I'm just gonna be bringing up the next question. We're already past 10. It's like quarter. We got a bunch of questions, so we got to try to do
Keep
this.
going.
Yeah, we got to do them as quick as we can.
I have nothing to do later. I mean, I'm here until you want to stop.
All right, here we are. The next question we have is, I have to add it to the screen. What is the time window for blanket consent? If I agree before bed to let you do things to me if I'm still asleep in the morning, do you need to wake me up to confirm, or can you just use the morning wood as an alarm clock to get me up? And we got a woohoo for morning wood from Roshan. Oh, no, for winning. All right, for winning. All right.
Sorry.
I occasionally will try to do things that are humorous or say things that are humorous. Our blanket consents are dangerous as long as you trust your partner. What's a blanket consent is what you're asking?
Yes. I think I got it from the rest of the question, but I would like to actually know if I'm right.
It's basically saying, like, I'm sober right now. I might be getting inebriated, and if given the opportunity, I would love to share sex with you. I give you my consent that we can be sexual if I'm intoxicated. This doesn't really hold up in a court of law, but a blanket consent is to say, I give consent for this situation.
In the future.
Right. In people who have a trust level between them, like a regular partner, someone you do trust, it can kind of be given for, say, the moment, as in, to wake somebody up with something sexual, etc. So it's called a blanket consent. And like I said, it is dangerous in the fact that it doesn't hold up in a court of law. I think if you have a partner that you give a blanket consent to about waking them up, allowing them to wake you up with morning wood or, something sexual, if you moan no in that half sleep moment and they stop, I think that's a respect from the partner. I know there's a lot of people who are into CNC, consensual non-consent,
Hmm.
which is usually in a role play, and maybe to have it be the safe word be the actual no, so they can still say sort of no in the morning if that is their game. But the fact that you have a partner who it seems like you're complaining that your partner is you're well, not upset, but you're confused that your partner is asking to reconfirm in the morning after you've already given a blanket consent. Misty, what is your take on this situation?
I mean, sometimes I like doing that myself because sometimes I'll be really horny before I go to bed and I don't really want to do anything, but I want it to happen to wake me up being made out with or having someone go down on me while I'm half awake or not even awake. If I consent to it the night before, generally, see, the thing with me, you can wake the person up doing it, and then once they wake up or are kind of into it, you just ask, is that still okay? And I think that's a little bit necessary because when you're not really like, you could think it's a dream. Like, I've had really vivid sex dreams where I've woken up and literally thought the person was there and they're not. And I was like, what the fuck? And like, had to really sit down and be like, did I just go through like a portal? Like, was there someone here? Like, I really did that before. And I wasn't even drunk. I just, it was a vivid dream, let me tell you. So I think that it's important that they still do ask to make sure that you're comfortable. And it's just about comfortable. Like, I've also had a partner that we've woken up and, we're cuddling and I felt their morning wood and they weren't really awake because they take forever to wake up. So I totally like started playing and was like, can I do this? And then they said yes. And then when they woke up a little more, I asked again, is this okay? And they said yes again. And then we continued. So I think that, you know,
So confirming in the morning is, you
confirming
think, the
and
proper.
confirming, yeah, and confirming doing it too. Like, I've also been drunk and being like, let's do this. And then like, it's about confirming. Like, you have to confirm as you're, before you're doing anything, or even while you're doing it. Confirming. It's important. They should confirm.
All right, Goddess Starla.
I think because there's so many different ways that this can go, where
Hmm.
what you're consenting with and what kind of a relationship you have, because this sounds like that kind of, if you're in a relationship and you trust the person enough that you're like sleeping beside them, and if you
Hmm.
just lightly start making out or whatever, like I think that's sounds fair. But I have um like, it's upsetting, but yeah, like, just because the person's sleeping and you have a hard on doesn't mean that you can just penetrate them while you're
No.
sleeping. And like, I've heard a horror story of someone who was with, and she was woken up by being penetrated, like,
Yeah.
without a condom. And it's like, yeah,
Not okay.
that's not cool. So like, that wasn't their relationship and that wasn't any kind of agreement. So yeah, you definitely need consent. I don't know, as far as like blanket consent, like, I don't really, there's so many different kind of situations and agreements that I don't really know what that means. Um
Hmm.
but yeah, like, just because you wake up with a hard on doesn't mean you get to have sex. Like, so
Yes. I do want to point out, it seems like the question was written by somebody who is not a penis haver. Uh, who
Who is not a penis haver or has it? Didn't it say um
they wanted
they can
their
take morning
partner's
wood as consent?
morning wood.
Oh, I misread that.
Let me just if I agree before bed to let you do things to me if I am still asleep in the morning, do you need to wake me up to reconfirm, or can you just use the morning wood as an alarm clock? So it could be two penis to having people.
Oh,
But
okay, but the person that wrote it might not. Okay, okay. Okay, I read
yes.
that and I heard it in a different way, but still, either way, I mean, I have gone to bed and I've woken up disappointed when I've said that to the person that I went to bed with, and then they didn't wake me up doing anything. But
Yeah.
it also depends on what you say that you can do, because when I said that, I didn't mean sex, and I made that clear that I said like You can wake me up by making out with me or with, I mean, I didn't mean penetrative sex with a penis. I meant like your face, or you can make out
Yes.
with me or you can feel me up. Like
A-
that is what I meant. And I had made that clear before I went to sleep. And so
And
to
so we
me, that
come
was okay.
back.
But it was that only one night. I wouldn't have wanted it the next night, for instance.
So we come back again to communication.
Yes.
If you're giving a blanket consent, you need to kind of state what you are consenting to.
Yes.
And yeah, the sexual assault statistics in Canada are horrible.
Yes.
And so I can't remember, is it 1 in 6 or 1 in 5 women have been sexually
I
assaulted?
think it's 1 in 5 people.
1 in 5 people have been sexually assaulted. And so there's a lot of things that will trigger people. So again, it comes down to having that communication with your partner, having that trust with your partner, and communicating thoroughly. And if they are erring on the side of caution, that's not a bad thing.
Agreed.
It's a better side to err on.
Yeah.
All right. Next question that we have. Did I put that up there? Oh yes.
Yep.
Thanks everyone. It wasn't the morning wood. Okay, good. Next question we have is strap on or fist, which is better to administer? And I did not push this to go to Goddess Starla first, but
Oh, come on. A fist is a big deal.
It's very big.
It's a big deal. So just like, you know.
as big as my head.
Yeah, I mean, anything can be as big as your head if you put it close enough to the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, fisting is a lot of work, you know, and it's anyway. It's a lot of prepping too.
what I was
Just you know,
thinking.
come on, strap on. It's reasonable.
Boom. All right. Again, the strap on always depends on where you're putting it. Again, because there could be preparation that you need to do if it's going anally. But yes, I think strap on is easier. Though I have accidentally fisted someone. Just kind of got carried away with 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 4, and then hey, it's all
Just
up in
fine.
there. So and then hello. All right, Misty.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I don't really have a lot of experience with that. I'm very vanilla. I would say strap on is easier. I mean, I got scared once by a penis that felt too big. That was, like a beer can, and I would expect that a fist is about the same. So for me, but I mean, again, we hadn't been trying on it or planning on it or working up to it, right? So like, I would say start with the strap on, and then you can move on, right?
Well, fisting takes technique too. Like, and you
Yeah, I
need
would
a nice
imagine.
glove, lots of lube, and you twist. Go on.
Are you talking about anal fisting or
yeah,
vaginal fisting?
Yeah, anal fisting.
Anal fisting. All right. See,
Okay.
that's anal fisting, whereas I was talking about
Okay.
vaginal fisting.
But it's
Communication.
Communication is key, because it wasn't so much as the technique as in like when I said it was accidental, but
Right.
But there was
I
a
don't know
certain
that
level
I've
of
ever gotten that
preparation
big.
and exciting. What was that, Misty?
I don't know that
How
I've
does
ever
it-
gotten that big, like that I've ever opened that wide, that I
Well,
could fit a
the
full
thing is,
hand.
you don't shiv
No,
that
but
in,
I
right?
mean,
But
like, because I haven't noticed. Like, I don't know. I'd have to ask. I mean, 3 fingers I know for sure, but other than that, I don't know. I'd really have to ask partners next time.
and the thing is, it's not like starting
I
out
know.
with
I have. But, yeah.
yeah, it's not you don't start out with the 3
Just for
fingers. It's
sharing.
something you worked up to, right? I mean, it's an extended session kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. I might be sharing too much.
Never. It's never,
This
never,
is-
never.
Come on,
Isn't that
sexy
the whole
chat.
point
We're
of this show?
oversharing. We're
We're
oversharing.
oversharing. This is the
Yeah.
Oversharing podcast, aka the Love Doctor live stream every 9 p.m. except for on the 20th of
week.
March.
I feel so excited that we're basically the St. Patty's Day Love Doctor. That makes me super happy because my birthday is the 16th. I'm basically a Patty's Day baby. If you can't tell, I love my birthday.
And
And
happy
it's
birthday.
happening soon. And so
Happy
you all
birthday.
should tip us because it's my birthday week, and so you should tip us because I'm going away and I can't afford it. So tip us.
Exactly. I'm actually running the donation link down below at this point in time. So that is there, and we're set for the next question. How
Okay.
important do you think alone time away from your
Oh.
partner is, Misty?
So very, very important. Alone time is super important. I mean, very important. Because otherwise, you're delving into the whole being, oh God, how come I can't think of the word codependent on another person? I think that the way, I mean, okay, again, talking from the person who has never really had the longest type of relationships, but in the ones and things that have worked the best for me, um, it has been when we've both had our own lives. Like
Space
we're both
time.
individuals coming together to become a partnership that both still do our own things. And I think that it's really important that you have your own identity outside of that, which then in turn means alone time. And it also is important to like if you have friends that invite you places, they're not necessarily inviting you and your partner. Like they might just want to spend time with you, and therefore that is also some sort of alone time. And even if it's just alone time on your own, I think you need to be comfortable with yourself being alone as well as being with somebody else.
Boom. Goddess Starla.
Yeah, it's very healthy to have your own autonomy and um, just connect um, with your feelings and your thoughts, and take a walk with yourself or take yourself on a date and just
Hmm.
enjoy your own company. And it's important to keep your own independence and to not have everything scheduled around your partner. I know there's like a lot of different kinds of dynamics and things like that, and you can't always get away to spend time alone. But when you can, I think it's really necessary.
Boom.
Hmm.
For me, I do need a bit of alone time to get into a creative mindset, which
Mhm.
I find is important for my life. Uh, at the same time, I also work very odd hours. When I get the chance to work, I work very odd hours. So uh, I understand that being with somebody who is like when they think I'm not working, that they want to spend time with me because they had their time alone away from me. Uh, and if they don't sort of respect the fact that I need to sort of decompress from work or et cetera, or have that creative time, it gets difficult. But everybody's a little bit different. Some people need to be spending the time in close proximity, maybe not actively engaging with their partner, but to know that they're there. So it is, again, it comes down to communication and what's up with your partner.
100%.
Boom. All right. Next question. What is your favorite way to spend a day off?
Oh dear.
In bed. Misty.
I
Sorry.
don't know.
In bed with somebody I love. There we go. Misty.
My favorite way to spend a day off, oh my God, it literally depends. Like some days I just want to watch TV, and some days I just want to have sex all day, and some days I just want to masturbate all day, and some days I just want to eat all day. So my favorite way just depends on my mood.
Very truthful answer. Goddess Starla.
This might sound cheesy, but I like going to the movies by myself.
That's so
And
easy.
I don't know why, but I like going to a matinee. Um, that's something I do. I like to treat myself on a day off and go see a movie.
That's a
Boom.
great way to spend a day.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, if I was to pick one and one only, it would be in bed with a partner for the day. And it could be cuddling, it could be sex, it could be whatever. We could be watching, a Netflix or something. But
I can never pick one. I'm indecisive. I am a Pisces through and through.
you scroll through the various uh, the various options that you have. We have just one more question at this point.
No.
I think we've had a good episode.
We have.
We're a little longer than the ideal time, but hey, congrats on 100 subscribers. How has working or guest starring on TLD changed you?
That's the perfect almost ending question.
Well, for myself, this kind of kickstarted my own YouTube channel where I did a Q&A. So I didn't, it was something like I'd never done, and I'd never been part of a panel like this. So it inspired me, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback from my YouTube channel. And in a time like this, like through the pandemic, it's given me life.
And it's at Goddess Starla Vamp on all one word. There's 3 S's in a row there, so be careful when you type it in. At Goddess Starla Vamp on Instagram. That will give links to their YouTube channel as well. And I'm the second one on this. I want to just mention that the donation tree is under there. How has this changed me? With the loss of in-person shows, that's kind of why I started this channel, and the show has grown as the time went on, and moving to the idea of doing this as a panel. I think it's given me a little bit of happiness, but it's allowed me to see that possibility of being more online and being a more online performer, whereas I've been traditionally an in-person performer. I know that just made me sound like I'm a sex worker as well, but I do something slightly different. No, all right, not funny. But
I giggled. Did you not hear me?
Oh, all right. Giggle louder. There's there we are. You know what? It's opened me up to new audiences, to be in front of new people, and it's given me the chance to learn more about a technology that, as an artist that wants to reach more people, how to utilize. So, Misty.
Oh, my answer is kind of long, but I'll try to keep it short.
Right.
So how has it changed me? So number one, since we've been doing this, there has been a couple of people that I've started dating that, of course, we started dating sort of online dating, and then like maybe we met in person. One person we had met in person before this, and then I told them about it, and then they logged in and they asked questions, yada yada. So that was kind of fun, because then it almost made it like a second interview where it's like, how are they going to react to seeing me? You know? Then another person, I hadn't met this person before, and they logged on, and then that was a little weird because their comment to me was, wow, your boobs are bigger than I thought. And I'm like, okay.
Is that
'Cause
all you had out of the show?
Well, apparently my pictures on whatever website it was doesn't show that I have big boobs. And I'm like, okay, I really thought they did, but whatever. Okay, sure. So I found that a little weird. So again, it's like that interview process where I'm like, don't know about you, but we'll see, because that threw me off. So that's, in that case, it's been a great way to interview people before I get interested in them. Another way it's changed me actually is I've met some people that I hadn't met before, and I met them on here, namely Wild Delilah. And why am I mentioning that person in particular? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because we're producing the first ever of its kind, at least in Montreal, Burlesque Fashion Showcase on March the 26th at Cafe Cleopatra. If you go on my Instagram, there are stories, and I'm putting up posts later. So you'll be able to see where you get tickets. And basically, just really quickly, it is literally what it says, a Burlesque Fashion Showcase. So we're showcasing different artists and their costumes. So we're actually going to talk about how they decided on this costume, what they did to create this costume, and how they've used it. So it's a completely different show on March the 26th at Cafe Cleopatra. Tickets are on Eventbrite, and you should come. And without this show, I wouldn't have met her, and this all wouldn't have happened.
And that's at Misty Portugal on Instagram, all
That's
one
it.
word.
Yep.
And to find out the information there. I'd like to also add, I got to meet a lot of wonderful people doing this show as well.
So
Like
many.
Misty, we had met before, but Goddess Starla, I've only met you through this. Well, we've met in person now since, but this is how this has given me a chance to meet with a lot of people and talk about something I really like, which is being dirty.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a cat on the back of the screen, so
He
please think about donating. Everything that comes in the next 24 hours
he doesn't like this
will be
blanket.
split among the 3 performers that you're seeing on the screen right now.
4 if you include Nova,
4 if we include Nova.
who
And
hates this blanket. It's funny.
I believe, all the questions have been answered. I want to thank everybody. Steve Efron is he's in the city that never sleeps, but he's the exception. He's gone to sleep. So
Good night, Manhattan.
to the doctor and the wonderful guests. Good night, Steve. Everyone, be well. Remember, I love you all. Vaudeville Variety Show every Wednesday night. We've got a banger of a show
At the Wiggle
set up
Room.
at the Wiggle Room. And I want to thank the people who helped make this show happen, not just my panelists, but the people working behind the scenes. You do a lovely job.